What's up, y'all? Shaman Shank back at you with another one. And it's pretty daggum special today, baby. I ain't gonna lie to you, and you're gonna see what I'm talking about here in a minute. This one is super cool. Probably one, I mean, all my knives are cool. I love them all, but this one is pretty freaking awesome. And I'm in love with it. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're in love with it too, or definitely have a common respect for it and what it is. But the knife that we're reviewing today is the Wake Up, Wake Up, Wake Up, it's the buck of the month. Get up, get up, get up. Yeah. We are looking at the 2025 December Buck of the Month release. And if you're a Buck fan, if you're watching this video, I take it you are, or at least you clicked on this video for a reason. This is the 2025, get out of there, baby, 2025 December Buck of the Month. And as you see, we got a beautiful 120 General. Isn't she beautiful? But there's something really cool about this knife. Very cool about this knife. That blade, that magnificent, beautiful, majestic blade is in MagnaCut. Ooh, yeah. You're singing to me, baby. You're singing to me. And of course, we got the brass on there, and that handle, yep, that handle right there, so gorgeous, is in ironwood. Yes, sir. Give me more. This thing is absolutely beautiful. When I saw it, I was like, what? And like I said, guys, I mean, I mainly review Emerson's on here, and of course I do have my Bucks. Buck is my first love with knives, so I do love them. But I do love a good, like, old-fashioned, genuine, like, mainly fixed blade Bucks, like the 119, the 120, in that range, and of course, going to folders, the 110, the 112. But I told myself, with me being, mainly and only pretty much Emerson, I told myself, I said, if Buck is going to get me to bite again, it's going to have to be something special. And man, let me tell you, I was sitting at my desk and I got a text, because I get like the notifications, if you just sign up for it on their website, you get notifications of when they do a release. And I just clicked on it. I was like, oh, what they got today. And I saw a 120. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I kept scrolling down. And I thought in my head, when I was scrolling down, I said, I bet it's not in MagnaCut. And lo and behold, in MagnaCut with ironwood and the brass, I was like, what? Ooh, baby, give me that. Had to get it, had to get it. And man, I'll get more into that as well as we go along. But let's go ahead and go over the specs, pretty much already have. But guys, we have a Buck 120 General, but it's in MagnaCut, baby. It is in delicious MagnaCut, and they threw the brass on there, and you got ironwood. This thing, I can definitely feel a difference in the weight. I mean, it's nothing crazy, but I can definitely feel a difference in the weight. This is going from the basic 8.3 ounces up to 11.4 ounces. I mean, that's not insane, but you can definitely feel the weight difference in it. And I figured you would, especially with that ironwood on there, because I know that's a lot, of course, heavier than, of course, in the past, the micarta, and I take it, the Coco Bolo. This is definitely a more dense wood, so it feels phenomenal in hand. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's got great character, and there were only 500 of these released. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool things about this knife. And let me get into it, guys. Let me get into it, because there's a couple of things about this knife that kind of made me raise my eyebrow a little bit in a good way. Because in the specifications of this knife, as you know, Buck is known for the hollow grinds. Every knife they have pretty much is a hollow grind. This knife is listed as a partial flat grind too. And I was like, what the heck? And I really, to be honest with you, I've never heard that. I did not know what that meant. I'm just familiar with, like, of course, my chisel grinds from Emerson, of course, the hollow grinds, and I know, a couple others, but that's what some of the knives that I own. But evidently a partial flat grind is it keeps more of the material, instead of like a hollow grind kind of goes down and swoops down. This keeps a lot of the steel material on the blade, and it kind of, from what I've read, it makes the blade stronger from just a basic hollow grind. So it's really cool they did that, especially on this MagnaCut, which is already a worthy and willing steel to get in there and get it going, especially on a knife like this with a tip like that. MagnaCut on this knife, I've been talking about it for a minute, is phenomenal. And let me tell you something, these bad boys, like I said, came in at a batch of 500, and this thing sold out the day it dropped. I think within 8 hours, this knife was gone. And to sell 500 Buck 120s in one day, I know Buck was going, what about my ching, ching, ching? I know they were loving it. They were loving it. But let me also get into that as well. This knife was priced very, very generously. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't cheap. But you know, whenever you hear and you didn't know and you don't know and you hear like, okay, a Buck 120 in MagnaCut with ironwood and brass, what do you think it's going to cost? Guess. Okay, time's up. This knife cost $225. And like I said, guys, I know that's not cheap, but if you were to get on the custom portion of the website and say you want to get a Buck 119, because of course the 120 isn't on the custom portion, if you slap brass, you slap ironwood, and you slap MagnaCut on a 119, it don't cost $225. You're looking at like $250, $260, not including tax. So this is a hell of a bargain. It was a hell of a bargain that I could not turn down. It was an offer I could not refuse. And I'm really, really glad that I pulled the trigger on it. And this knife, even though it's so gorgeous, so pretty, I think every 120 is gorgeous. But this knife, I know it's going to sit in a lot of people's safes. I know, and I understand that completely. I respect that, because it is the first time the Buck 120 has ever been dropped in MagnaCut, ever. And that's pretty cool. Out of 500, I can definitely understand this being a collector's piece, but this knife was made. I mean, all knives are made to be used, but this knife definitely, the steel is too good. The handle material is too good. This knife is made to be used, guys. This knife is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, it really is an absolute, it's a work of art, and I am so glad to have it in the collection. Oh man, I tell you what. I am in love with it. I love the 120. I love the 119, but this has rekindled my love for the 120. Usually when I am to grab a fixed blade, I do go for my 119, but man, let me tell you, I am going to grab this mofo out of the holster from now on. The sheath, forgive me. The sheath is coming out, baby. It's going to get used. I definitely want to get her dirty. Definitely want to use her, because I am very familiar with MagnaCut. I've used a lot of my Emersons with MagnaCut, and it holds up like a champ. And I can only imagine what it's going to be like with this monstrous blade. And also, speaking about the blade too, there's another spec that kind of stuck out to me a little bit, aside from like the partial flat grind. The basic, you know, this 120. They say the blade length comes in at 7 3/8, and this one's listed as 7.5. And let me go ahead and break. The only thing you can compare a Buck 122, to be honest with you, if you ask me, is another Buck 120. So I don't know what the hell I said. I said Buck 122. Forgive me. I'm all over the place this morning. This thing's got me ecstatic. But yeah, I mean, if you put these things, I mean, finger guard to finger guard, I really don't see any crazy, like, going crazy right there. They look the exact same to me. This is the Coco Bolo. I reviewed that a few videos back if you want to check that out. But yeah, they look the exact same in length. So I really don't know where Buck is getting that from. Oh, there may be like the tittest tat of a hair difference. But yeah, that number spoke to me and told me, you know, something's a little bit different about it. We got partial flat grind, we got MagnaCut, we got a little bit longer bit of a blade, which I really don't see that or feel that. And of course, that ironwood feels phenomenal in the hand. And like I said, guys, I love having a little bit of weight, especially to my larger fixed blades. And this feels phenomenal. It feels phenomenal. When you set this bad boy down on the table, the blade don't even touch. It just sits right there. And I love that. I do love that indeed. And the holster it came with, I actually put the Coco Bolo in that holster, but it's the distressed leather sheath. Of course, you know, this one is made in Mexico, I take it. But yes, the distressed leather sheath it comes with, great sheath. But man, I had to swap it out and throw it up in that butterscotch, baby. That nice thick butterscotch. And man, it just goes hand in hand with it. Looks phenomenal in there. But yeah, guys, Buck really knocked it out of the park. They really did. I mean, it is a 120, but like I said, that blade still really changes the game with this knife. I mean, this is a knife, I mean, of course, within reason, as I always say, you know, if you use this knife, you know, the way you should, and you're not going out there trying to pry open, you know, a can of beans or anything with it, which you maybe you could. I'm not going to try it to tell you, but this knife will last generations. I mean, a basic 120 and you know, the 420HC will last generations, and 440C will last generations, and that's time proven. I mean, you can get on eBay right now and buy like a 1970 120 that looks great, and it's been used pretty heavy, and it's completely worth the price of admission. But with this blade steel, with this handle material, and of course that lovely shimmery, shiny brass, this knife is an absolute heirloom piece. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you maintain it, which of course, you know, MagnaCut, from my experience, has been great to maintain. For me, it sharpens up very easy, and it keeps an edge very long. So yeah, this knife is an absolute beaut. And if you're looking at that real quick, let me break this one back out. It's the smallest bit of difference. I'm a psycho, guys, I told you. But if you look at the fuller, on that Coco Bolo right there, and you see the grind kind of goes up right next to it. Look at that on this. It's like right on the fuller. It's like, I mean, and I tried it out with my, let's break out another one. This 120 day, baby. We're having a declaration of independence, baby, because we're buying them, we're getting them. But yeah, if you put these together too, you'll see on the micarta with the S35 VN is kind of the same story. You can see, like, look, oh, that's even spaced out even more. But on this one, as you see, man, that grind goes all the way up to that fuller. Now, I'm not quite sure if that was just, you know, whoever grinded this knife said, man, we're going to take that thing up a little bit, and did that. But, you know, if you're an owner of one of these buttes, you're one of the 500, the proud, the few, the sharp, let me know. You know, if yours goes up to that point as well, I'd be happy to know if they're, like, you know, across the board like that. But and I don't know if that has anything to do with it being a partial flat grind. I'm not really quite sure. But guys, it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm trying to think of what else I can say about this thing, because it is an absolute beaut. I'm super excited to have it. And it was a great way to end the year. You can keep the champagne, you can keep the toast and all that, man. Give me my buck 120 in MagnaCut. And due to the success of this knife selling out within 8 hours after dropping, 500 of these units went out, I can definitely see Buck in the future dropping the 120 in the custom portion of the website, because, I mean, come on. Right there is telling you that people were very, very excited to see this knife and this material and this get up. And I can just imagine this knife, you know, with some elk on there, and, you know, keeping the MagnaCut and kind of customizing that. I'm really not quite sure why they haven't already added it, you know, when they have the 124 on there as well as the 119. But coming in at the price this came in, you know, especially for the holidays, they could have priced this knife, I'm not going to lie to you, they could have priced this knife over the 300 point, and I highly doubt that they would see any difference in the sales. I think this thing still would have sold out the day of. But man, this thing coming in at 225, which, like I said, the 119 in the custom portion of the website is over that for a shorter knife. It was a no-brainer. It really was a no-brainer. Usually I sit there and I think about things. I'm like, man, should I do it? Is my wife gonna kill me, or is it worth me getting killed over? And I said, you know what? You know, let's go for it. Let's go for it. And I'm so glad I did. I'm glad I risked it all. I did. I risked it all, and it was worth every bit of it, guys. This knife is amazing. I've seen these knives on the aftermarket on eBay. I saw one posted for 600 bucks. I mean, these things are definitely, and I figured it would. I mean, like majority of knives, but like I said, guys, with this material being the first time Buck's ever released this knife in MagnaCut, I knew that the aftermarket would be insane. You know, I'm sure there were some guys out there probably who bought 2 or 3 of these things with the intention of actually probably selling them aftermarket, knowing people would eventually buy it, because it's a great, great piece for collectors and users alike. But like I said, guys, it's a damn shame that this knife will set up in someone's safe, because, you know, it's just too good. It's just too freaking good to not be used. It would have been cool to buy 2 of them, but yeah, I really would have been pushing it then. I would have been dead man walking. Dead man walking. Hell, I may still be one. Maybe she's plotting on me. I don't know. But no, I'm playing. She's a sweetheart. She is. But yeah. But guys, the Buck of the Month 2025 December release, the Buck 120 General in MagnaCut, ironwood and brass. This is amazing. It's a testament. It's a great testament to buck quality. This knife feels so awesome. Just like, you know, to me, any 120 or 119 could feel. But man, that extra weight in there, the ironwood is absolutely gorgeous too. I know the camera really ain't gonna do it justice. You really have to see it in person, but there's like little ripples in it a little bit, and you can kind of feel it. I mean, they definitely polished it up a good bit, but it's got great character. And I've seen other people post their pics of it, and like this actually varied a lot in design, like not design, but like the texture and like the color of the wood. Some people have a lot darker. There's like, you know, lines in it more pronounced. Everyone is into, you know, it has its own look. So that is pretty freaking cool. Absolutely phenomenal. They did a great job with it. Everything is tight and right, no gaps, nothing at all, and razor hair splitting sharp. Absolutely phenomenal. Man, oh man, have I covered it all? Can I say anything else about this bad boy? Except if you didn't get one, man, I'm really sorry. But you know, hey, you can always get on eBay and pay 600 bucks for one. But I think I saw another one on there that was going for like in the 300 range, which to be honest with you, like I said, if this knife was priced out the gate at that, I really think it would still sell. This is absolutely great. Great bargain from Buck. I'm really glad that they dropped something that caught my attention again, because I like I said, I do love Buck, and I really wanted to hold out for something, and this is exactly that. This is that special thing that really got me back on the Buck train, baby. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys had an amazing new year. I hope 2025 is good to you. I hope 2026 is even better. But guys, I hope you started off the new year all good, got your resolutions going, staying strong. And as always, guys, as we go forth into 2026, as we go forth into what this year is to bring, God bless all of you. And please, if you got anything from this video, just like this Buck 120 and MagnaCut, I want you to stay sharp.